Hi everybody. Today let us start discussing about the atomic structure. Okay. First of all, as we know, atoms combine to form molecules. Molecules unite to form matter. So atoms are randomly present like that. They combine to form molecules. Three atoms combine a molecule or three atoms combine a molecule like that, like that. These so formed molecules unite together to form the matter. Like that, the total matter is composed of atoms. Atoms combine to form molecules, molecules unite to form matter. So, John Dalton proposed that these atoms are responsible for all the properties of the matter. The entire properties of matter are decided by the atoms. Okay, so what the atoms contain? This is our question now. Okay, atoms are known to contain Atoms are known to contain three fundamental particles: electrons, protons, and neutrons. So, protons and neutrons are present at the center and is called nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in concentric circular orbits. That means, for the same center of nucleus, electrons revolve in circular orbits around the nucleus. This is the found fact. How it is found and all will be known later. So, the fundamental particle electron has the charge mass 1.66 into 10 power minus 31 kg or 0 atomic mass units. Its charge is minus 1.66 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb or minus 4.8 into 10 power minus 10 ESU. ESU is CGS unit, coulomb is SI unit. Now, proton mass is 1.667 into 10 power minus 27 kg or 1.0078 AMU and its charge is positive, same. Next, neutron mass is 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. Neutron is slightly massive than proton. Okay, and electron is 1837 times lighter than proton. Okay, that means it is 1837 times massive proton. Okay, its neutron charge is 0. So in atomic mass units, you can simply remember 1.0078 AMU is proton mass, 1.0087 AMU is neutron mass. That is a small difference between neutron and proton masses. Systematic arrangement of these three fundamental particles in an atom are known to be atomic models. So, atomic model, how atom contains these three fundamental particles is their question then. Okay, the first atomic model was proposed by J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson assumed an atom with, J.J. Thomson compared an atom with watermelon. As you know, in watermelon, the mass is present throughout the matter and the seeds are randomly present throughout the watermelon. In that way, the total pulpy matter in the watermelon is assumed to be protons and electrons are just like seeds. So what it says, electrons are randomly distributed throughout the atom and protons are also randomly distributed. In fact, for the J.J. Thomson's era, the neutron was not discovered. That means he doesn't know about the situation of neutrons. He knows only electrons and protons are present in the atom. That's all. That is why he said both electrons and protons both are randomly situated throughout the atom. But it is totally failed. The reason electrodynamics says that when two oppositely charged particles coexist, the lighter particles have to revolve around the heavier particles. That means randomly they cannot be situated throughout the atom. So it is totally failed. The second atomic model was given by Rutherford. And Rutherford, by doing the alpha ray scattering experiment, he came to know that the total mass of the atom is present at the center and he called that center as nucleus. So the term nucleus was introduced by the scientist Rutherford. And he said about the electrons that electrons revolve in the concentric circular orbits around the nucleus of an atom. He said this one, Rutherford. But it is also failed. The reason is when two oppositely charged particles coexist, the lighter has to revolve around the heavier, no? So, in that way, okay, electrons are revolving around the heavier protons, nucleus. like that it is good. But the problem is that if an electron continuously revolves like that, that means if an oppositely charged particle continuously revolves around a charged particle, it loses its energy and ultimately it falls in the opposite charge. In that way, what happens if electrons are revolving in the concentric circular orbits like this, they do not retain in the same orbit. So the orbit slowly changes. So ultimately it will submit with the opposite charge. That means the atom will collapse. According to Rutherford model, atom cannot exist. According to Rutherford's model, the atom has to collapse. But if atom collapses, what happens? Matter also has to collapse. But matter is stable. So Rutherford's model is found to be little wrong. But what is the merit of Rutherford's model? Merit is the total mass is present at the center is correct. But revolving of electrons around the nucleus in concentric circular orbits is wrong. To make it correct, the third atomic model is proposed, that is Bohr's atomic model. He said the same dialogues of Rutherford also, but he changed what is within the circular orbit, electron can have elliptical orbits also. This concept was introduced by Niels Bohr. In fact, Niels Bohr has done what? He made use of the concept of Sommerfeld. Sommerfeld proposed the concept of elliptical orbits. That means Sommerfeld felt that around the nucleus, electron doesn't may not revolve in a circular orbit. It may revolve in elliptical orbit. That means the moment electron approaches the nucleus, this is the nucleus, it is positive charge. So if electron approaches the nucleus, it moves fast. When it is far apart from nucleus, it moves slowly. Like that, electron may have elliptical orbit. This idea was introduced by Sommerfeld. With the help of Sommerfeld's elliptical orbit concept, Niels Bohr proposed his atomic model. That means he just revised the Rutherford's model. So same circular orbit concept he used, but he said within the circular orbit, electron can have elliptical orbits also. Like that he said. That means continuously electron doesn't revolve in the circular orbit. Within a circular limit, it may have elliptical orbits also. Like that he proposed about the orbitals, like S orbital, P orbital, D orbital, like that. Within the same circular limit. But however, the circular orbits concept is retained. So, Niels Bohr proposed what? By using this Sommerfeld concept, Niels Bohr proposed the latest atomic model. And in that, the first postulate he said, electrons revolve around the nucleus in concentric circular orbits. This is what is right. Okay, he called every orbit as a stationary energy level because within an orbit, the electron's energy remains constant. So as long as the electron is present in the first orbit, its energy is fixed. Second orbit, it increases. Like that he proposed. As the energy is increasing far away from the nucleus, the energy of the orbits, E1, E2, E3, like that. He came to know that E1 is less than, E2 is less than, and so on, En. That means for every orbit, the are moving away from the nucleus, the energy of the orbit increases, but the energy difference decreases. E2 minus E1 is greater than, E3 minus E2 is greater than, E4 minus E3, and so on. Like that he proposed. So what he said, as the energy is increasing, as energy is constant in the orbit, he called them as stationary orbits or stationary states. He termed the stationary states as 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on integers. Okay, and K, L, M, N and so on. Capital letters also he used for the same. K orbit means first orbit, L orbit means second orbit, like that. Okay, also he came to know that as long as the electron is present in the same orbit, energy remains constant. The number of orbits he used a term n. This n he called principal quantum number. He used a term n, principal quantum number. Nth orbit means a particular orbit. N is 1 means first orbit, 2 means second orbit, like that. So the value of n will be 1, 2, 3 and so on. That means around the nucleus of an atom, we can have infinite number of circular orbits, and in each and every circular orbit, the electron can have circular path as well as elliptical path. Like that he proposed. However, it has become success. So the latest atomic model is now known to be Bohr's atomic model. This is about the first point. Second point, he said what? Within the same Bohr's postulates. First point, he said about the orbit. Second point, he said about the suborbits. That means orbitals. What he said in regard of circular orbits? As long as electron is present in a particular orbit, its angular momentum is quantized. Quantized means any physical quantity having the values in the integral multiples of a constant. Here h by 2 pi is constant. So its values lie in the integral multiples of this one. N is n value 1h by 2 pi, 2h by 2 pi, 3h by 2 pi, like that. Integral values of this h by 2 pi, he said the angular momentum value. Basing on the angular momentum, he could say about the orbitals. So if MVR means angular momentum, L is found to be 0 S orbital. L is equal to 1 p orbital, 2 d orbital, like that. Different types of orbitals means suborbits. Also he proposed for the electronic position. This is about second postulate. And third postulate, what he said, electron has to jump from the one orbit to another orbit. For example, lower orbit to higher orbit has to jump means it has to absorb that much energy. And if an electron jumps from higher orbit to lower orbit, it has to release that energy. So E3 to E1 it has to come means the difference in energy E3 minus E1 has to release. Okay, it has to go from first orbit to second orbit, third orbit. The difference in energy it has to absorb. Like that he proposed. But what he proposed, the absorbed or emitted energy also must be quantized. That means the delta is E, that is equal to En2 minus En1. Whatever may be N1 and N2. Okay, the energy difference is known to be N h nu. H nu is constant, N is again integer. That means the absorbed energy or emitted energy is quantized. Again, it is in the integral multiples of a constant h nu. Like that he proposed. However, Bohr's model is known to be the latest model so far. Okay, and it could give many results. How Bohr's model is proposed and all will be, means on what basis he could say all these things, all will be done in the next class. I hope so you got the point about atomic models. Okay, atomic model, J.J. Thomson's model totally failed. It could not give any information properly. Second one, Rutherford's model, it could give the concept of mass situation. That means nucleus and circular orbits. These two diagrams are also good, but the same circular orbits is failed. So the circular orbits concept is revised by Bohr's model with the help of Sommerfeld's concept of elliptical orbitals. Like that, the atomic model, the Bohr's atomic model is found to be the latest model. Okay. Any doubt, any question, anything else, you can contact me through WhatsApp. My WhatsApp numbers are 949 2050 200 and 824 755 And I am saying again, this is my new channel and it needs some subscriptions. So try to do subscribe if you are watching my channel at first time. And if you feel good, you can put a like. Okay. If you want to share, please share to your friends. Bye.